Hi YouTube. This is just a little exercise I wanted to show about how you can chart out the things that are happening in a particular year using the minor suit tarot cycles as a guide. So I thought about this when thinking about how different cycles can be kind of happening in different suits or even multiple cycles of the same suits at the same time in our lives. And I was originally going to do more of like a timeline chronology layout, but I realized that was a little tough because I don't always know when things start and end. And also, as I talked about in the Tarot Topics video on cycles in the tarot, they aren't always linear. They don't always go in the order that they are in the tarot. Sometimes you go back and forth. Sometimes you stay somewhere for a while. So instead, I did this layout. You can see in my bullet journal, so there's 12 squares in a 2-page spread. Each square represents a month, and I'm going to write the names of the months. I haven't done that yet. But you can see that I've started to fill in. You can ignore the little pink flags. Those are just to cover up some private information. But I've started to indicate different cycles that are happening based on the color. So these are actually colors that I use elsewhere in my bullet journal, but I use pink for majors. And then I'm actually writing them out. And for the minors, I'm just writing the number. So I use green for pentacles, purple is swords, blue is cups. And do I have wands? Yeah. Orange is wands. So I started trying to think about the months of the year so far. We're halfway through, obviously, and how those line up with different cycles. And it was a really interesting exercise to do. So you can see that, for example, my majors are definitely not going in order. Had a star moment, then went right back to the tower. And then with the minors, like, I was thinking about multiple iterations of the suit. So you can see, for example, here I wrote 8 of Pentacles with regard to work, and then dropping down to 5 in work, back up to 8. So I used work as a keyword for that cycle. At the same time, there's sort of a pentacle cycle with finances going from a 10, 4, 9. So again, kind of jumping around, but 2 different pentacle cycles happening at once. And then you can also see how the different cycles relate to each other in your life. So, what does it mean that I'm having a tower month in March, as well as a 5 and 8 of cups? These are in 2 different relationships in my life, and then a 10 in finance. So thinking about how those different cycles interact, I think, can be really interesting. And this is a good exercise that you can do in your bullet journal, your tarot journal, whatever you have, and kind of think through it. And then at the end of the year, you'll have a full layout to kind of do a retrospective.